all the games I used to play in my younger, wilder days. The game of clubs and tees had never crossed my mind. But after some discussion with my closest, dearest friends, I decided that I'd give it one good try.
Welcome into another episode of the Turn Fantasy Golf Podcast. As always, I'm Andrew Putters, flying solo tonight as my partner in crime, Joe Nicely, lead golf editor at Rotoballer.com, is out on much-needed vacation fall break with his family down in Florida. It's all good, folks. I'll bring you everything you need to know. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming in and listening. If you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share with others. Rotoballer.com, always appreciate what you do for us. Guys, you need to get on it right now. This is the best time of year. You're going to get the best price. Go to rollerballer.com, hit the PGA premium icon, use the promo code NICE to get a discount on the yearly premium subscription. Last week, Joe was all over it with the Matty Wolf look, but came up a little bit short by the absolute dominant performance on Sunday by Sanjay M. He shot 9 under in the final round to win the Shriners Hospital Open and beat off the likes of Adam Scheck and Matt Wolf. Along you had Sabatini and Leishman that also made a big run on Sunday. But it was still an entertaining Sunday, to say the least. But it's hard really to get into golf this time of year. But, guys, we're right here grinding every week for you, even though we got the distractions, the NFL and college football and other things going on. So, but moved on to this week, CJ Cup. This tournament's pretty new. Started in 2017. It was originally played at Nine Bridges over in Korea, I believe. That's where, in South Korea. Due to COVID in 2020, they moved it to Shadow Creek last year in the fall, and this year they moved to the Summit Club in Nevada. I kind of hate it. I wish they'd have played at Shadow Creek again, but it is what it is. Summit Club, I don't think will disappoint anyway. Summit Club's a fairly new golf course designed in 2017 by Tom Fazio, one of the best designers in the world out there today. Pretty long, par 7400. Par 72, 7,431 yards. If you go on the rotoballer.com, our boy Josh Jiswish does a course breakdown every week, and he broke down this week as well. It's one of our premium articles. And the Summit Club is made up of dormant bent grass greens, along with Bermuda fairways, tees, and rough that's overseeded with perennial rye. Rough would be about 3 inches tall. Not going to be a big deal for these guys on the big tour. It's always good to see a new course, even though it's a little disappointing we don't get to see Shadow Creek again. We got to at least see it this time last year. So new course to Summit. I'm excited to see it. Headed on to the slate, guys, right away. There's 6 guys at the top here. DJ at 11-3, JT at 11, 1 Morikawa at 10-8, Xander Schauffele at 10-6, Spieth 10-3, Rory 10-1. So unfortunately, without a lot of course knowledge on this track, it's going to be hard to identify somebody. So we just kind of need to go. I would normally say go off the trends, but guess what? When you go to the trends, these guys haven't played a lot in the last, say, 2 months, ever since the Tour Championship, or last month and a half since the Tour Championship. And, several of them probably took a little bit of time off right after the Ryder Cup. So it's going to be more of a gut check here. You're not going to be able to use recent form unless you get some of the guys that has been playing in the fall swing already in the first few events, and not knowing a lot about the course, there's not any course history. So you can go ahead and scratch those things off the list. And I've said in the past, and I'll say it again, I like the red light, green light guys. Red light means I scratch them off my list completely. Green light means I keep them on there and work them into lineup. So out of this top 6 guys right here, you have to think if there is such a thing as a recent form. DJ has been playing the best because he played great at the Ryder Cup and played very well leading up to it. And new course, not a lot of people know. I kind of think that, and it's pretty long, I kind of think that he's probably a pretty good pick here. But being so expensive, I'm probably going to lean more towards a balanced lineup this week than the Stars and Scrubs. So for that reason alone, might look, Xander's the defending champion here, but like I said, it was at Shadow Creek. So I'm not really sure I'm going to be going with anybody up here at the top. There's going to be a lot. This is a pretty decent field. It's really a lot of the mainstays are coming to this event, because a lot of people went over to South Korea playing it, and with it being in Vegas this year, a lot of the guys from Europe come over here. They're ready to start their season. They're going to hit these next 4 to 5 weeks out hard and then take that break for Christmas and come back at the first of the year. So I'm scratching the top 6 guys on the list here: DJ, JT, Morikawa, Xander, Jordan, Rory. I'm scratching them completely. Moving on down, love Sam Burns at 9,800. Love Sam Burns. I think you're getting a little bit of discount of Brooks Koepka at 97. And Tony at 96. Compare those top echelon guys. You always have to worry about Brooks in an event like this where his head's at. So I love Sam Burns, love Tony Finau at 96. Sanjay obviously playing well. Whenever he plays, when it seems like his game's on, he plays well for a considerable amount of time. So he would be somebody to look at. I understand that, shot 21 under, 23 under last week, and he shot 9 on the final round, but still played great all weekend or all week and really just caught fire there at the end. He's going to be steady. So I would be okay with Sanjay here as well. But I'm probably looking more at Sam Burns, Tony Finau at the top. That would be the first 2 guys I'm rostering. Moving on down through the nines, Louis, Cam Smith, Answer. I was really big on Answer last week. I thought it was a perfect course setup for him, and just really just played really bad. And so did Scotty Scheffler right below him at 9K. Both of them played very, very bad, and I'm not sure that I'm gonna be able to get over that for a while. I thought they were the cream's crop last week, and really couldn't see myself rostering them this week because of the way they played bad last week. So, and of course, like last week too was knocking the rust off after a series of breaks in the fall swing. So, moving down through the 8K range, you got to think Patrick Reed's got a little bit to prove at 8,000. Adam Scott 81, Casey 82, Lowry 83, Hatton 84. This is really a good part here. I could see any of these guys competing. Of course, we love Kokrak, Leishman. I love all these guys that I've just named in this 8K range. 8K range is going to be really tough to choose who we're cutting out and who we're going to be going with. I really like Adam Scott and Patrick Reed down here at the 8K range. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resum all these guys that I said that I really like. I'll probably pick 2 out per range and at the end of the show. So if you missed out on that you can catch up at the end. Kevin Na, down to the 7K range now. We love Kevin Na when we play in Las Vegas and when we play in Nevada on the West Coast. We always love him. Little strange WD last week. Let's see if there's any notes on him. It says the ribs is the issue, but he due to a rib injury, but he's obviously still in the field this week. So he's probably going to be scratched off the list for that reason. Once you kind of get him in the WD mantra, it's hard to get out of it, seems like with him. So I wouldn't trust him going forward for probably till after Christmas. Justin Rose making his 2021-2022 debut in the fall swing, 7,900 as well. Can't trust him though. Cannot trust him. I know he's played decently over in Europe in the last few weeks, but we can't trust him. Max Homa is another something else though. I'm starting to finally get on board with Max Homa. The guy's a true ball striker, and obviously it's shown that he can win out here. We got to love Sergio and Joaquin Needham also in the 7K range, mid 7K range. A lot of value right here in those 3 guys. Aaron Wise is actually right below them, has actually started to show a little bit of consistency, strangely enough, but I still can't trust him at this price point, 7,400. He's more of a mid 6K range with this kind of field. On down a little bit further, Maverick McNeely. We're always going to talk positive stuff. A couple weeks ago, nearly missed out. He had like a top 15 or something. And then on down through my boy Spencer, who loves the Jason Days, and he's making his debut in the 7K range. Who knows? This is definitely somebody we can't trust. Jason Day is just way inconsistent, and we need to play him whenever there's like a series of about 3 weeks in a row where he's played well. That's when I would be on him. But Kevin Strielman here down here in the 6K range now. Kevin Strielman is really kind of interesting spot that he is down this way. 6,800. That's a pretty decent value. I know he hasn't played great in the last few weeks. Let's see here. He hasn't played great in the last few weeks, but I still like him in the 68 range. Just for namesake only, I will throw out a Gary Woodland, Emilio, Brian Harmon. They've got tons of talent, and Harmon still seemed like he's trending downward, but I like him. Last year just had such a good year. It's hard to forget his name. Same thing with Stuart Sink. He had such a good year last year. It's just crazy to think that they're at this price point. There's a lot of big names down here in the 6,000s. I'll name a few. You got Kevin Kisner at 6,200. I mean, you're not going to see him that low the rest of the year. Lucas Glover, 6,000. You're not going to see him that low the rest of the year. Sebastian Munoz, 6,100. You're not going to see him that low. Kevin Mitchell or Keith Mitchell, like his name down here. Johnny Vegas, he's going to be a bit of a gamble, but he hits the ball a long way. So if he gets hot with the putter, you never know. Ricky Fowler, 6,400. Like him as well, just because, he's not going to get a lot of ownership. So this week, I'm definitely going with a more balanced look than I usually would, guys. And also, in saying that, with that balanced look, you want to be, in my opinion, this week alone, I'm going to be anti-chalk across the board. So Sam Burns might fit in a little bit. Maybe since he's so expensive, he probably won't. But I'll just start at the top. I'm gonna give you some green light guys you need to jot down. Sam Burns, Tony Finau in the 9K range. You move down the 8K range. There's a lot to like down here. Paul Casey, Adam Scott, P. Reed, like those three names. Once you move down the 7K range, Sergio, Joaquin Needham, Max Homa in the mid sevens. I would give Keegan Bradley a look, but in the sixes, but I don't trust him enough. And down here in the your Kevin Strielman, 6,800, like him. Ricky Fowler, 6,400, just on ownership alone. Johnny Vegas, Kevin Kisner. Keith Mitchell, Sebastian Munoz, all those. I like a lot of names in the six. So you'll be able to make up several different lineups, different types of lineups because of the true value down here in the low sixes. So if you will highlight those guys I named out. And once again, I want to talk to you about rotoballer.com. Spencer just kills it with the gambling stuff. If you want to follow, he tells himself, he tells everybody he's not a tout, and he's not, but he has the numbers to back it up with his spreadsheet and his models. Guys, he kills it every week. Get on here, rotoballer.com. Use the promo code NICE to get his article about the Vegas report. He also does a daily showdown report where it helps you, or you can use his model to pick different people for the daily showdown events. Also, Josh does the course breakdown. And with this being a brand new course, it's going to be very important that you hop on and look at that. Of course, Joe does. He's the man. He's usually my co-host on the show. Lead golf editor #1, and nothing gets put on there without going across his desk. So you got to think. He's doing like a core 4. He's doing a horse for the course. And we also do the Rotoballer Roundtable. That's article, and that's pretty just fun that we throw out like our top selections and for these few questions that are asked for the CJ Cup. So log on there. Remember, use the promo code NICE when signing up for the PGA Premium. You get a discount. This is by far the cheapest way to do it. I think if you sign up right now, you're paying just a little over $1.20 a week to be a member. And saying all that to say this, I've definitely still got to throw out my dart for the week. Dart for the week is going to be. I would say Max Homma, but he's probably more of a value play, so I wouldn't say that. I'm gonna say look out for Ricky Fowler, guys. He's got a lot to prove. He's not going to be high on ownership. Not many people's going to have him. So I like his name, and him and Kevin Kisner are both down here in the low sixes. But I'm gonna say Ricky Fowler for the dart play of the week. And I've got to stick to my guns and just be on the lookout for Sam Burns trending up still. I know he's 9,800, which is a little bit more expensive than he's ever been. But he's still cheaper than those other guys. So, I love a Vic Hovland, but I don't know if he can make that many putts right above him. So, but he's still a great player. So Sam Burns, Ricky Fowler, really going out on a limb on these two selections, if that's okay. And thanks for listening, everybody. Remember, go to rotoballer.com. Appreciate everything they do for us here at the Turn Fantasy Golf Podcast. I'm Andrew Putters, and let's go get this CJ Cup.
I've already hit 3 in the lake. It's gonna dry